Good morning, everybody. My name is Darlene, and I have Parkinson's.
I'm Claudine, and I don't have Parkinson's.
But she has everything else, all the responsibilities of us. Anyway, we were going to do a question and answer. I was hoping Bill would be able to do it with me, but he, of course, is still in the hospital, so he can't. So
I'll
Claudine
step
and
in, and we'll answer some questions.
You betcha we will.
Mom said she asked everybody to ask some questions in the comments, so these are what we've got so far. All right. Mom, let's start. We got one from Nona Grace.
Okay.
Where did you hang your stockings at Christmas?
When we were kids, or what?
No. When did you hang your stockings at Christmas?
We always hung them up on the by the fireplace on the wall. You know?
This year.
Oh, this year we hung them above the TV on the wall.
Yep, we had them all above the TV, all dressed out against the wall that Mom actually faces from her.
I'll just give you a quick,
from her chair.
Go turn this around there.
Okay, hang on a second.
All right, so it's right by that picture there. We hung them up there.
They were up there.
Yeah, that's where we had them. So.
All right, so now back to us. And when did you start your YouTube channel?
Oh. I don't know. It was 2 years ago, maybe? 2 years
Probably.
Ago? I don't know when I did it.
I don't know. I'm going to say 2021 or something like that.
It was during COVID.
It was during the pandemic, for sure.
I have no idea when I started it. I'd have to go back and look.
Maybe we should have looked up the answers before we did this.
Yeah, we should have probably checked what the answers.
All right. Requiem. What songs, singers, and artists do you listen to? Have you ever listened to Avril Lavigne?
Oh, I
have. I'm an Avril Lavigne fan.
I've not listened to Avril Lavigne. I don't know who she is.
She's sort of a skater, punk rock artist, but she's much younger than your generation. Yeah. She's my generation.
I listen to mostly Irish songs. I have some old time gospel songs that I like to listen to.
Yeah.
And Irish songs. That's probably where my...
She also has some crazy tunes like the Monster Mash and Elvira and stuff like that.
Her things that make me move and want to move. I put Elvira on and I can feel like I can dance even though I can't.
Elvira is one of those songs that you just want to move to the beat.
And I put it on repeat and I'll just sing it at the top of my lungs. Claudine one day came into the bedroom. I had my music on loud and I was laying on my bed and I had movement and I was moving my arms. I was dancing.
She had her
on my
legs
bed.
And her arms all up in the air, but she's laying on her back on her bed. But she was arms and legs going in her bed.
I was dancing in bed.
Dancing to the music.
I loved it.
Okay, from Sylvia Hudell. What was your favorite TV show growing up?
We didn't get to watch TV when I was younger. We watched TV after we moved to Delta, which I was in grade 11. That's when we started to watch TV. Before that, if I saw anything, it would be Ed Sullivan or what's the Walt Disney World? They played a movie on Sunday night.
We were big on half-hour sitcoms when I was growing up, like that sort of like. We always watched Roseanne because we sort of joked that Mom was sort of like Roseanne back then, and I was sort of like Darlene, you know, and Dad was sort of like Bill Goodman, right? So anyway, we did watch some.
Bill isn't even Bill Goodman.
Is it Bill Goodman?
John Goodman.
John Goodman.
Yeah. All right.
Oh well. Okay. So anyway, and also, what do you remember about your grandparents?
I remember lots about my grandparents. I remember my Granny Turtle, that was my mom's mom, and she came from Ireland to Canada to visit us. And she sat the babies on her knee, and she sang a little song to them. And I've been singing that song to Aurora, so she'll get to know that that's sort of our little lullaby.
And Aurora's eyes just light up when she hears Mom start to sing that too. That's a little.
It's called "How Many Miles to Babyland," and it's really cute.
Mm-hmm. And my grandparents were her mom and dad, and they were wonderful. They took me on some trips that I'll never forget. They took me to Disneyland and to Ireland.
So going to Ireland at the time.
Yep.
My mom was going to go to Ireland for a vacation, and she only had 2 weeks vacation time. And they usually tried to do 3 weeks when they were going to Ireland because it's a big trip. And Dad couldn't get any time off work, so he said to Mom, well, you just take the 2 weeks and go by yourself. So anyway, she went to Ireland, and then she had, as a good wife would do, not me, but a good wife, she prepared 7 meals for that next week and put them in the freezer. And she said, Dad, just put one in the freezer every day, or one in the microwave every day, and then put your dirty plates over on the side, and then Darlene come over at the end of the week and fill those 7 dishes again with the next week's worth of meals.
But instead, we ended up surprising her and showing up in Ireland unannounced.
2 days after she left, my dad phoned me and says, does Claudine have a passport? And I said, no. And he says, can you get one fast? And I said, yes. And he said, okay. He said, because you can get passports really quickly then.
I was about 9 or something at that point in time.
And so Dad said, okay, well, tell Claudine she's coming to Ireland with me. So he phoned her Mom's boss, and he got an extra week's holiday for her. So when he showed up, there was still 2 weeks, but they didn't tell anybody they were coming except for my Uncle James, who picked him up at the airport. And
she didn't really recognize me because I was out of place, you know.
So when they walked in the room, she sort of looked, and it took a minute to register. It was Claudine and her husband, and they had a really good.
Claudine and my husband.
Claudine and her husband, Mom's husband, Dad, Grandpa.
Oh, her husband.
Yeah,
Yeah,
her
I'm
husband.
like, I don't have a husband.
No, no, but I mean that's the type of thing they did, and it was wonderful. And I also had a great grandma and grandpa on my dad's side. My grandpa actually died on my graduation day, so I didn't go to my graduation, but he was a very memorable person. And my granny then, she stayed, and Claudine got to know her. We have even got a 5-generation picture. So we had the true 5
I ruined it though because I insisted. Back then I was a young mother. Ivy was only a few years old. Actually, she was about 1 year old. But I bleached my hair out, so I was
terrible.
I looked like I'm not part of the family because I'm the only one with bleached out hair in the picture. Everybody else had like brown hair. Yeah.
We did get a redo because we took a second 5-generation picture when Ivy was about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And so we did get a redo of that one, but we had the true generations because we had Ivy, and then we had Claudine, and then we had me, and we had my dad, and then we had his mom. That was the generation line. And then we did the 5 generations with my mom, so it was the women, the 5 generations of women. So we have those pictures, and I cherish them.
All right, let's move on.
Yes.
Okay. Patricia wants to know, what books or podcasts do you like?
Oh, I like Mr. Ballin.
She likes psych mystery thrillers, and we do too. That's exactly what we like, is true crime.
Yeah, true crime.
Basically true crime. We listen to a lot of true crime podcasts, not just Mr. Ballin, but that is sort of a good place to start if you're looking for a good one.
Yeah. So
And
that's what we do.
you used to read Harlequin romances, like
I did.
back in the good old days, I guess.
Yes,
but
I liked Harlequin romances because I didn't have to think about them. Like
easy read.
when you're reading true crime, you're really getting your brain kind of mucked up. So you pick up a Harlequin romance, and you know that the good guy is going to get the good girl, and you know that they're going to fall in love and get married, and you just read it through, and it's very interesting and fun. But I don't read them anymore. I actually don't read much anymore, hardly at all.
She's got an Audible account now.
I have
so
Audible, and I have a
reads it.
Kindle, not the machine, but a Kindle account. And the Kindle I can read on my tablet.
But again, it's crime
Yes.
mystery type things.
And then on my Audible, where I could listen in bed, it's the cozy mysteries there. They're actually children's books, but they're really good. And I got hooked onto them by Carol from Plain Vanilla Grandma. And so I listened to them. Hi, Carol.
All right, so favorite genre of movies. Would you say comedy?
I like comedy, yeah.
Yeah, we're comedy movies type of people. We've watched a lot of really funny ones.
Yeah.
Traveling.
What about traveling?
Have you ever done it?
Not much. I've gone to Ireland, and I've gone to Scotland when I was 14. I went to Scotland. I saved my money myself. My parents matched me dollar for dollar. My Auntie Molly matched me dollar for dollar. So I was 14 years old, and I had to save up a bunch of money. And then times were a lot simpler. You wouldn't send a 14-year-old now by herself on an airplane, but off I went on an airplane by myself. My parents took me to the airport. I had to change in London to another airport to go.
At 14.
At 14, I had to go from Heathrow to Gatwick and then over to Ireland. And I had a great holiday. Little did I know I was going to marry a Scotsman, but I had a great holiday.
What are your pet peeves?
Pet peeves. Stupid people.
Stupid people. Mine is hard butter. I hate that when you go and some people keep their butter in the fridge and it's hard and it rips your toast. I hate that. I always keep ours on the counter.
Well, stupid people that do that.
Stupid people.
People that just are, like, they just don't have any sense, common sense. They don't have any common sense.
I say that common sense is rare sense now because it's not very common anymore.
Yeah, I can't stand stupid people.
Favorite car?
Favorite car? Something that drives, something that goes.
Something reliable that will start every day that we don't have to worry about.
I do like colored cars. I don't like black and white cars, but I like colored cars.
You know how many, I've noticed there's a lot of white cars on the
there is.
road. And I have a white Jeep right now,
And
but
we had a white Hyundai before.
yep. Where would you love to visit?
Oh, I'd love to go to Switzerland. I would love to go to Hawaii.
We would not like to visit Australia because we are
no.
terrified of bugs, and the bugs are bigger.
And Costa Rica, the same thing, had their bugs and stuff.
So all those warm tropical locations are probably not on our
I don't want to go to Mexico.
vacation list. I'm the type of person I'd rather stay home anyway. I'm a homebody. I want to be here with my dogs, and I just like to stay home.
I'm a staycation girl.
Staycation in Porto Backyardo.
Yeah, Porto Backyardo.
We got a great deck now at this place here we're in, so we have a beautiful Porto Backyardo in the summertime. We get our flowers and plants going.
I can't travel now, so I'm glad that I'm the type of person that's out here. The only thing I really miss is I said that if I lost my weight, I was going to go ziplining, and I didn't get to do it. And then now the weight's off, and I'm not able to go ziplining. The company that runs some of them will not allow me to go on it. So
well, in order to get on a zip line, you have to climb to the top.
Yeah, like the one that I wanted to go on, there was 7 little zip lines going, but you're in the mountains and you climb. You take a chairlift or something to get up to the top, and then you climb.
I think there's stairs. Isn't there a bunch of stairs?
Yeah, once you get to the top, you take a chairlift up, and then you get there, and then you have to climb up to where the zip line is, and you go to the next one, and then you have to climb or walk from there to the next one. And there's 7 of them, so you get 7 portals that you have to climb. Yeah. And I can't do that, so
okay.
They said no.
Somebody asked for a map of places that you have lived.
This is
so.
I want to just give a couple of things. This is not. I just want to show the map of the 3 countries. Okay, so I'm gonna hold it up because you get it upside down. You get it upside down here.
I don't think so.
Scotland. Yeah.
Why the words would be upside down then, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So Scotland and
up on the top.
Ireland and England, and that's just for people who don't know. This is where my family's from. Like, so the Scotland here. This is Bill. He was born there, and this is my mom, and she was there. So I'll show you a better map, but I just wanted to show you how that was situated for mom and them. That's our heritage. So
yeah.
And then this one here is.
You had one of just Ireland.
Just Ireland.
Looking up in
so mom was in
corner.
Northern Ireland, and mom was born roughly here. It's a town called Brusane.
Brusane, Ireland.
And her home place is called Elgany.
And this is a close-up of Scotland.
This is where Bill lived.
And Dad lived in
Elderslie,
sort of in the middle of the country.
It's just on the outskirts of Glasgow. And when Bill and I got married, and we applied for our wedding, not announcement, what is it? License, wedding license. They made a misprint, and they didn't call it Elderslie, they called it Elderslick. For years, I said to Bill, well, I'll just have to, if I ever want to divorce you, I just have to nullify our thing because we have a marriage license with a spelling error on it.
All right, so in Canada, this is our map of Canada here.
I will say that I will go now where I was born, and my mom came to Brandon, and then moved a lot with Dad, and then ended up in
Manitoba
over there. So then I was born. Bill, he came from Scotland when he was 9, and he went to a farm in Saskatchewan, which I don't know where exactly it was, but a farm in Saskatchewan, and then they went to BC, New Westminster, and then I'll pick up him when I get married to him. So I was born in Brandon with my mom and dad. Dad was born in Red Lake, Ontario, but I was born in Brandon, and then we moved to Winnipeg. I did a lot of moving. My dad transferred with his job probably every 2 to 3 years, and so we did a lot of moving. So I'd be interested to know how many places, but anyway, Brandon to Winnipeg. Let me get this here because I can't even remember. I had to write it down.
Another paper.
So,
like my highlighting dots.
Right, so I went from Brandon.
This is where we are. This is British Columbia.
And then I went
Nova
to
Scotia down here.
Burlington, Ontario. So from Winnipeg, I went to Burlington, Ontario.
Oh, actually, that's right down here by the Great Lakes.
Then I went to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
In the middle here.
We were only in Saskatoon, I think, 18 months. We weren't there long. And then we went to Edmonton.
That's at the top of Alberta here.
Yeah. Then we went to North Delta. So once we got to BC.
Down in the lower mainland.
Dad had to travel when we were in Edmonton. Dad had to travel. And he always said, I don't like traveling for my job. He was only home 4 days a month, and he hated it So when the company offered him something that was going to be permanently staying in one place, he said yes. And so of course Mom moved with him. We all moved, and we hated him for moving us because we loved Edmonton, and we were all mad at him for moving us. But in the long run, we knew it was better. So we went to North Delta, and that was the home that we really considered our family home.
In the coast of BC.
That was where we stayed the longest, but I didn't because I got married. And I got
So you
married.
moved down to the United States?
I got married, and then, first of all, I came back to Calgary. Went from BC to Calgary, and then I got married in Calgary, and then right after I got married, we went down to California, Santa Monica.
Sort of down this way. Well, they went down to Santa Monica and then sort of worked their way back up.
Yeah, and Santa Monica was beautiful. It was a very nice place to be.
I was born in Torrance, sort of in
So,
the Santa Monica area.
We went on a motorcycle to the hospital for Claudia. Oh my God, can you imagine that? I was in labor and we went on a motorcycle. And then my husband said to me, I feel like having breakfast. And I said, well, I don't feel like having breakfast, but I'll sit with you while you have breakfast because I figured labor would take forever. Mm-hmm. So we went into the restaurant. We sat down and the waitress came over and she goes, oh, when does baby due? And I said, well, we're on our way. And she says, oh, she got him a breakfast. I think she took it from somebody else. And she got him his breakfast.
Is right there.
Set it down and he gobbled it up and we went to the hospital. Didn't have her for another full day.
So you lived in Philomath in Oregon.
Which was just outside of Corvallis, which is a big university town.
And Ferndale.
Yeah, just like, okay, you're rushing me here.
Oh.
Stories to tell.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get through.
I know, okay. I'll tell them short, okay. Philomath is outside of Corvallis. It's beautiful there. Beautiful.
Oregon, white sandy beaches there.
And then we went to Ferndale.
Shemayamu? What was that place?
Semiamu. I went to Ferndale first. I went to Ferndale, lived in a house in Ferndale, and then we decided we wanted to live in a boat. This is my first husband and I. And so we went to the marina that was up here in Semiamu.
Right here.
And we lived on a boat there. And then
up here in Canada, that's the lower mainland. This is like Delta, and this is like Washington.
Okay, so now I leave the United States. I divorced him, and I picked up a new guy.
Back to the lower mainland here in BC.
Yes, and I went to Surrey, which is connected to Delta, so I was familiar with it because that was where I'd gone to school and everything, so I went there. And then Bill and I got married. I met Bill and we got married, and then we traveled together. And we went to Quesnel after we...
That's in the middle of British Columbia, northern, you know what I mean? So right about in the middle of BC is a little town called Quesnel. Or Quesnel. There's an S in it.
And Cal was born in Quesnel.
Cal was born in Quesnel, my brother.
Okay, and then we went to Prince George, which is just north of that.
2 hours north in Prince George in BC.
And that was where Ivy was born.
Yep, Ivy was born there. I had my daughter there.
I was so got to be with her. It was so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So exciting. Oh my gosh. And we went to Calgary. Claudine moved to Calgary, and I said, you're taking my grandbaby, I'm coming with you. So
yeah,
I
from northern BC back down to Calgary in Alberta.
And so we came to Calgary, and Claudine and Cal and Ivy stayed in Calgary when Bill retired. When Bill retired, he and I moved to Nova Scotia.
All the way across the country.
And it was the best 10 years of our life. We had the best time. And
so it's pretty far away, so that was long distance phone calls.
Yeah, and then the thing is, I got sick and Bill got sick. And we knew we needed to be closer to the kids, so...
And we weren't going to move to Nova Scotia because there's no work there.
Yeah, so I was really happy when we made the decision, because soon after we made the decision and moved here, COVID happened. And
you wouldn't have been able to move during COVID.
Yeah, and I got quite sick then, so I wouldn't have been able to get back home. So I'm glad we moved when we did, but I will say that the best 10 years of my life was in Nova Scotia. And Bill feels the same way. He really loved it there. So we've been in Calgary till the present day.
Well, you guys worked hard for your lives, and then you end up, I'm glad you got the 10 years in Nova Scotia for your retirement.
I was, and I have to laugh because my mom, she didn't want me to go. She thought that it was too far away. So she says to me, she says, you're abandoning your children. I said, I'm not abandoning them, they're adults.
Yeah, we didn't feel abandoned. Cal was an adult. He had graduated high school by that time. And
Ivy was 10 or something, and
I had my own, like she had an after school program by that time, so.
yeah, so it worked out great. So I said, I'm going to go. I'm not abandoning my children. I'm going to go. And
we weren't abandoned. But I'm glad you decided to come back to us.
Yeah, but you did come to see where I lived out there. And that was nice because when Bill got sick, they all came out, and that was really nice. And then Bill's sister and husband came out, and that was nice to have them. And then my dad and mom came out. Mom didn't really know. She was getting a little bit of dementia. She didn't really know where she was, but she knew who I was, and we had some good conversations, and we went out. She loved my friend Tawny, and they went. And then Tawny came to visit me when I was out looking after Mom, and she flew out and stayed with me for 2 weeks in Delta at Mom and Dad's house
in British Columbia.
So it was really good. Really,
yeah.
We have good friends there.
So Mom flew out to BC, and for almost a year, I don't know how many months, but it was almost a year, all totaled up, and looked after her mom in BC, and left Dad in Nova Scotia, and he was fine because he still went for coffee with the cronies and whatnot.
We called them the Romeos, and
the Romeos.
Romeos is real old men eating out. That stands for real old men eating out. They'd go to Tim Hortons and have their biscuit and tea. So the Romeos went every day.
So anyway, that's why I feel like it is my I wouldn't say not duty, but like that's the example that you have set for me is to care for your elders, you know.
Yeah, and you do a wonderful job of it, and it's a hard job. I know it's a hard job. I can remember Mom saying things to me that were very hurtful, and I thought, oh dear, I hope I don't do that. But I have found myself doing that to Claudine sometimes, and I try not to, but sometimes you just say things and you don't mean them, or even if you do mean them, it's because your brain is all messed up. And
I understand that the brain
I said
takes
to Claudine,
your filter away.
And I said to Claudine, long before I was this sick, I said to her, if I say anything, please forgive me because I don't know what I'm saying.
I told you were pre-forgiven.
Yeah, pre-forgiven.
You're pre-forgiven.
So I guess I'll have to just say.
And there was somebody else who wanted a tour of our house, and I think it's probably confusing because Mom keeps saying upstairs and downstairs, but we live in a bungalow, so it's all on one level.
Yeah.
And I don't know why she feels like she goes upstairs, up the hallway to her bedroom, and then back down to the living room.
A lot of times we had a bedroom upstairs, and so I think it just...
A lot of houses are laid out with the bedrooms upstairs. And
this one here is beautiful because it's a one level.
Yeah, and that's why we came here actually. So, but I mean, just to the left of Mom is our front window here, and then to the right is our...
Let's see, so put this...
That's a door into the kitchen.
Put this,
no, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then we have like our... Oh, there's Indica on the chair, and then the dining room over in there. And then down the hall to the bedrooms, but the kitchen is over to the right of Mom there.
And I have a washroom in my bedroom, and it's got a very small shower, but it's nice to have that washroom right where your bedroom is.
Yeah, Mom's got a nice big bedroom. Dad and I have the smaller bedrooms, but that's fine by me. I don't need a big bedroom. Mom needed the bathrooms one.
We started off with Bill being in the same room as me, but I would then bother him at night because I fiddle around in the bed. And
even though they had 2 twin beds, there wasn't actually enough room for the walker for Dad and the wheelchair to get around the beds with 2 of them in there. So that's why Dad got his own room.
And we got him into that room, and then he had so much stuff because he has a great big TV and a big bookshelf with movies. And
yeah, I'm going to be doing some reorganizing. I'm going to take some of them DVDs and
we're going to have
bookshelf out of there. We need more room around the bed.
We have to have around this bed free so that if we get home care coming in to help us, that they have better access.
So yeah, we'll do some reorganizing.
Somebody else wanted to know about your hair routine because
my hair routine. I honestly just about peed myself laughing when I got that comment. Like my hair routine. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I like Pantene. That's what I do, and I wash it probably once a week if I can. And that's sometimes I don't even do conditioner. Sometimes I'm just laying in the bathtub and I'll shampoo it, and then rinse it off in the bathtub, and then get out. But honestly, a lot of times on the day that I wash it. Generally, I will use a pick and either mousse or some sort of a balm and scrunch it up a little bit. But then, honestly, I'm bad for, like, just not really taking care of myself.
You just put up in a messy bun.
I just put it up in a messy bun and start my day. Yeah. Basically, my care routine is messy bun, brush my teeth, and black eyeliner. That's my things that I need. And eventually, soon, I will be putting my teeth in again.
I'm great.
You know what? Actually, today at the dentist, I went for a fitting, and I guess the teeth that were on the plate weren't secure yet. They were just sort of wax, and then the teeth stuck to the wax, but it wasn't like really strong. Yeah. So I went to adjust it in my mouth, and I pulled the teeth off of it, and I was like, "Oh my God, I got my brand new teeth falling out of my face." Yeah. Anyway, the metal part fits, so by next Wednesday, we'll be just doing the tinkering. So
that's good.
I know.
That's good.
I'm soon gonna get my new teeth.
She had the surgeon take out the one that's up in the roof of her mouth, and then up in the roof of her mouth that left a little thing that's
what do they call it? A bone spore or something? But in the hole where they took the tooth from, there's a sharp piece of bone. So they say it will eventually loosen and come out. So I'm just trying to like brush at it really hard. But it's so close
to her sinus because she touches up near her nose there.
Yeah, it's in behind here.
Yeah. That's it. If she touches her nose, it hurts. So. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much
25 minutes.
Oh dear.
If you've watched us for 25 minutes,
congratulations. You're really.
Thank you. You made it to the end.
All right, I'm going to leave it. I never told much about Cal and Ashley or anything, but that's all right. I told they lived in all the same places as us. So.
Yep.
And they came here, they got married, and they've got 2 kids.
We're all rooted in Calgary, Alberta. Westerners now.
And actually, to tell you the truth, here's how it's a small world. This house that we live in is the same layout as the house that we had in Edmonton.
When Mom was young, in high school.
Young. I was just saying, because I looked at it when we were looking for places to rent, and I said, I know what the layout of that house is. It's because I've had it, but this house had it, like when we had the one in Edmonton, we had the downstairs as well. So where my washer and dryer is, there was a stairwell
to go down, but
to go down or go outside. And now that's where the washer and dryer is, and the opening for downstairs suite is outside.
Yeah, it's a totally separate. There's no door from the inside to the lower suite, so
Ivy
it's a separate
has
unit.
Her own kitchen and bath and laundry.
It's beautiful downstairs. It is really, really beautiful downstairs. She's got a gas fireplace and a really nice kitchen. Our kitchen is all white, and her kitchen is all black, so that's kind of neat. But no, she's got a nice basement suite down there, and I love having my daughter so close just so we can, meet on the back deck every now and then with the dogs.
I like the fact that we're close to Cal and Ashley too.
Yep.
This is the area that they went to school and Ivy went to school, and so we really feel like this is home.
This is home here in Calgary, especially this neighborhood. We've really we've moved around but stayed in the neighborhood. So.
We like this place a lot. I hope that we can stay here for a long time.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much for sending in all of your questions. And we're happy to just, answer as
and if you want to know any more, just go back and look at some of the old videos, because I have playlists of like the first 15 videos and stuff, and you can see where we were when we started this.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.